Hello, my dear friend. Come sit with me. I want to talk to you about something that might be keeping you from experiences you long for, places you want to see, people you want to visit. I want to talk to you about that flutter of panic you feel when someone mentions getting on an airplane. If your heart just skipped a beat at the mention of flying, you're not alone. Oh, sweetheart, you are so not alone. Millions of people share this fear, and it's particularly common among those of us who have lived long enough to understand just how precious life is. Maybe you've been invited on a family trip, but you've made excuses. Maybe there's a grandchild's wedding across the country that you're missing. Maybe there's a dream destination you've always wanted to visit, but the thought of getting there by plane makes your chest tight and your palms sweaty. I understand, darling. I understand that this isn't just about being a little nervous. This is about a fear so real, so overwhelming, that it's making decisions for you. It's keeping you grounded when your heart wants to soar. It's building walls around your world when you want to expand it. Today, in our What About Me conversation, we're going to talk about fear of flying with the gentleness and understanding it deserves. We're going to explore why this fear might have grown stronger as you've gotten older, and most importantly, we're going to discover gentle, loving ways to help you reclaim your freedom to travel. Because your life shouldn't be grounded by fear. Your dreams of seeing new places, visiting loved ones, and having adventures shouldn't be held hostage by anxiety about flying. You deserve to go wherever your heart calls you to go. First, let me say something important. Your fear of flying is not silly, it's not irrational, and it's not something you should be ashamed of. It's a real fear with real physical and emotional effects, and it deserves to be treated with respect and understanding. Fear of flying often intensifies as we get older, and there are very real reasons for this. When we were younger, we might have felt more invincible, more willing to take risks, less aware of all the things that could go wrong. But life has taught us about loss, about fragility, about how quickly things can change. You've lived long enough to know that bad things do sometimes happen. You've experienced loss, disappointment, perhaps trauma. Your fear isn't irrational. It's your protective instinct working overtime, trying to keep you safe from any possibility of harm. And then there's the issue of control. In an airplane, you're not driving. You can't pull over if you feel uncomfortable. You can't get out if you change your mind. For someone who has spent decades making decisions, managing households, solving problems, this lack of control can feel terrifying. Your fear might also be connected to other anxieties that have developed over time. Maybe you worry more about your health now, and you're concerned about medical emergencies at 30,000 feet. Maybe you've become more aware of your mortality, and the thought of being in a situation you can't control feels overwhelming. Some of you might have had a bad flying experience in the past, turbulence that scared you, a medical emergency on board, or even just a particularly stressful travel day. These experiences can create lasting anxiety that grows stronger over time, rather than fading. Whatever the source of your fear, I want you to know that it's valid, it's understandable, it's human, and most importantly, it's not permanent. Fear of flying can be addressed, managed, and overcome, even if you've been dealing with it for years. I want to talk to you about something that might be painful to consider, but I'm going to say it with all the love in my heart. When we let fear of flying keep us grounded, we don't just miss flights, we miss life. Maybe you've missed your granddaughter's graduation because it was too far to drive. Maybe you've never seen the ocean because getting there would require flying. Maybe you've turned down invitations to visit friends who've moved away, or you've never taken that dream trip you've been talking about for years. I've talked to women who tell me they feel like prisoners in their own geographic area. They feel cut off from family members who live far away. They watch friends take wonderful trips and share amazing experiences, and they feel left behind, left out, diminished. And it's not just about the destinations you're missing. It's about the person you're becoming when fear makes your decisions for you. When we consistently choose safety over growth, comfort over adventure, we start to see ourselves as fragile, limited, incapable. Your world becomes smaller. Your sense of what's possible shrinks. You start to define yourself by what you can't do rather than what you can do. And that's not who you are, darling. That's not who you were meant to be. There's also the impact on your relationships. Family members might stop inviting you to distant events because they know you won't come. Friends might plan trips without you because they assume you won't join them. You become known as the person who doesn't fly. and opportunities for connection and shared experiences start to pass you by. But here's what I want you to remember. This doesn't have to be your story. Your fear of flying doesn't have to define your life or limit your experiences. You have more power over this fear than you might realize, and there are gentle, effective ways to reclaim your freedom to travel. Now, my dear, I want to share some information with you that might help ease your mind. I know that when you're in the grip of fear, statistics can feel meaningless, but sometimes understanding the reality of flying safety can help quiet that anxious voice in your head. Flying is statistically the safest form of travel. You're more likely to be struck by lightning than to be in a plane crash. You're safer in an airplane than you are driving to the grocery store. Commercial aviation has an incredible safety record that has only gotten better over the decades. Modern airplanes are marvels of engineering and safety. They're designed with multiple backup systems for every critical function. They're maintained by highly trained professionals who follow strict protocols. The pilots who fly these planes have thousands of hours of training and experience. Air traffic control systems are sophisticated and constantly monitored. Weather tracking is more accurate than ever before. If conditions aren't safe for flying, planes don't take off. The entire aviation industry is built around the principle of safety first. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but what about turbulence? What about mechanical problems? What about all those scary stories I've heard? Let me address those concerns with facts wrapped in compassion. Turbulence, while uncomfortable, is not dangerous. It's like driving over a bumpy road, unpleasant, but not harmful to the vehicle. Pilots are trained to handle turbulence, and modern aircraft are built to withstand much more turbulence than you'll ever experience. Mechanical problems, while they do occasionally occur, are almost always minor and easily handled. Planes have backup systems for their backup systems. And remember, if there's any question about the safety of a flight, it doesn't take off. Airlines would rather deal with delays than take any risks with passenger safety. Those scary stories you've heard? They make the news precisely because they're so rare. Millions of flights take off and land safely every day without making headlines. The ordinary safe flights don't make for dramatic news stories, but they represent the vast majority of flying experiences. Now, let's talk about some gentle, practical techniques you can use to manage your anxiety about flying. These aren't magic solutions, but they are tools that can help you feel more in control and more calm. First, the 4-7-8 breathing technique. This is something you can practice at home and use on the plane. Breathe in through your nose for 4 counts, hold your breath for 7 counts, then exhale through your mouth for 8 counts. This activates your body's relaxation response and can help calm your nervous system. Practice this technique regularly, not just when you're anxious. The more familiar your body becomes with this calming breath pattern, the more effective it will be when you need it most. Second, progressive muscle relaxation. Starting with your toes and working up to your head, tense each muscle group for 5 seconds, then release. This helps you become aware of where you're holding tension and teaches your body how to let it go. You can do this in your seat on the plane, and it's particularly helpful during takeoff and landing when anxiety tends to peak. Focus on the contrast between tension and relaxation. It's quite soothing. Third, the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique. When you feel anxiety rising, identify 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This brings your attention back to the present moment and out of anxious thoughts about what might happen. Fourth, positive visualization. Instead of imagining worst-case scenarios, practice visualizing a smooth, peaceful flight. See yourself boarding calmly, settling into your seat comfortably, and arriving safely at your destination. Your brain doesn't always distinguish between imagined and real experiences, so positive visualization can actually reduce anxiety. Fifth, bring comfort items. Pack things that make you feel safe and calm. A favorite blanket, soothing music, photos of loved ones, a book that comforts you. Having familiar, comforting items with you can help you feel more secure in an unfamiliar environment. Remember, darling, these techniques work best when you practice them regularly, not just when you're facing a flight. The more familiar they become, the more naturally you'll be able to use them when anxiety arises. Now, I want to talk to you about taking baby steps toward overcoming your fear of flying. We're not going to ask you to book a cross-country flight tomorrow. We're going to start small, gentle, and manageable. Baby step 1, visit an airport. Without any intention of flying, visit your local airport. Walk around the terminal, watch planes take off and land. Observe the normal, everyday operations. Notice how routine and organized everything is. See the families reuniting, the business travelers calmly working, the ordinary nature of air travel. Spend some time in the observation area if your airport has one. Watch planes taxi, take off, and land. Notice how smoothly and regularly this happens. Let your nervous system get used to the sights and sounds of aviation in a non-threatening way. Baby step 2, learn about your airplane. Research the type of aircraft you'll be flying on. Look up its safety record, learn about its features, understand how it works. Knowledge can be very comforting when you're dealing with fear of the unknown. Many airlines have virtual tours of their aircraft online. You can see the interior, learn about safety features, and familiarize yourself with what to expect. The more familiar the environment feels, the less threatening it becomes. Baby step 3, practice your coping techniques. Use those breathing exercises, relaxation techniques, and grounding methods we discussed earlier. Practice them daily, not just when you're thinking about flying. Build them into your routine so they become second nature. Baby step 4, consider a fear of flying course. Many airports and airlines offer classes specifically for people with flight anxiety. These courses combine education about aviation safety with practical anxiety management techniques. You'll meet others who share your fear and learn from professionals who understand it. Baby step 5, start with a short flight. When you're ready to take that first flight, choose a short one, maybe just an hour or 2. Pick a destination you're excited about visiting, so you have something positive to focus on rather than just the flight itself. Remember, darling, there's no timeline for this process. Some people might work through these steps in a few weeks, others might take months or even years. The important thing is that you're moving forward, however slowly, toward the freedom you deserve. Let me walk you through what to expect on the day of your flight, so there are no surprises. Sometimes fear of the unknown is worse than the reality, and knowing what's coming can help you feel more prepared and in control. Plan to arrive early so you don't feel rushed. Bring all your comfort items in your carry-on bag. Wear comfortable clothes and shoes that are easy to remove for security. Remember, you can ask for assistance if you need help navigating the airport. The security process might feel overwhelming, but remember that it's all designed to keep you safe. The TSA agents are there to help, and you can let them know if you're feeling anxious. When boarding begins, you don't have to rush. Take your time getting settled. Once you're seated, take a moment to orient yourself. Locate the nearest restroom, notice the flight attendants, get comfortable in your seat. Use your breathing techniques if you feel anxiety rising. Remember, the flight crew is highly trained. This is often the most anxiety-provoking part for people with flight fear. The engines will get louder, you'll feel acceleration, and then you'll feel the plane lift off the ground. This is completely normal and safe. Use your breathing techniques and remind yourself that takeoff is just the beginning of your journey to somewhere wonderful. Once you're in the air, try to engage in activities that distract and comfort you. Read a book, listen to music, do a crossword puzzle, look out the window at the beautiful views. If you experience turbulence, remember that it's normal and not dangerous, just uncomfortable. Like takeoff, landing can feel intense, but it's a routine procedure that pilots perform multiple times every day. You'll feel the plane descend, the engines might change sound, and you'll feel the wheels touch down. Then you'll taxi to the gate, and your flight will be over. Throughout the entire process, remember that you can ask the flight attendants for help if you need it. They're trained to assist passengers with anxiety, and they want you to have a comfortable flight. I want to help you think about flying in a completely different way. Instead of seeing it as something to endure or survive, what if we can help you see it as something that connects you to the people and places you love? Flying isn't just about the mechanics of getting from point A to point B. It's about the hug you get defying gravity, soaring through clouds, seeing the world from a perspective that was once reserved for birds. Instead of focusing on what could go wrong, try focusing on what will go right. You'll arrive safely at your destination. Statistics virtually guarantee it. You'll have new experiences, see new places, connect with people you love. You'll prove to yourself that you're braver and more capable than your fear wants you to believe. And here's something beautiful. Every time you choose courage over fear, you make it easier for the next time. Every successful flight builds your confidence and shrinks your anxiety. You're not just overcoming a fear, you're reclaiming your freedom and expanding your world. Remember, darling, you don't have to love flying. You just have to be willing to do it in service of the things and people you do love. You don't have to eliminate all anxiety. You just have to be willing to feel it and fly anyway. Let me give you 3 specific, gentle action steps you can take this week to begin your journey toward flying freedom. Action step 1, the airport visit. This week, plan a visit to your local airport. You don't need to go through security or get on a plane. Just walk around the public areas, watch the operations, observe the normalcy of it all. Bring a friend if that makes you more comfortable. Stay as long or as short as you like, even 15 minutes counts. Action. Step 2, practice your breathing. Every day this week, practice the 4-7-8 breathing technique we discussed. Do it when you're calm and relaxed, not just when you're anxious. Make it a part of your daily routine, maybe when you first wake up or before you go to bed. Action step 3, visualize success. Each night before you go to sleep, spend 5 minutes visualizing a successful flight. See yourself boarding calmly, sitting comfortably, and arriving safely at a destination you're excited to visit. Make this visualization as detailed and positive as possible. These steps are small, manageable, and designed to help you build confidence gradually. You don't have to do all 3 if they feel overwhelming. Choose the one that feels most doable for you right now. My brave, beautiful friend, your fear of flying doesn't define you, and it doesn't have to limit you. You are stronger than your anxiety, more capable than your fear, and more deserving of freedom than your worry wants you to believe. Somewhere out there are places waiting to welcome you, people waiting to see you, experiences waiting to enrich your life. Don't let fear keep you from them. Don't let anxiety make your world smaller than it needs to be. You have lived through so much already. You have faced challenges, overcome obstacles, survived losses, and emerged stronger. If you can handle everything life has already thrown at you, you can handle a few hours on an airplane. Your wings aren't broken, darling. They're just folded. It's time to remember that you were made to soar, to explore, to experience the fullness of this beautiful world. Take it one small step at a time, be patient with yourself, and trust that courage isn't the absence of fear. It's feeling the fear and flying anyway. The sky is calling you, and you are ready to answer. Conquering this fear will lead you to experience freedom fully,